All right, welcome to our next video in our series on programming in Snap, the block programming language. This is the lab that my classroom calls lab number 12. The idea is we want to define some custom blocks to get some information about the contents of a list. So what we're looking at here is this is the start of the lab. Every student gets to start with this document, and it shows the three custom blocks we're looking for. One is called contains, one is called index of, and one is called first word. And you'll notice if I go over to the variables category, I've got these three custom blocks defined right down here. And this is my version, which contains the solution, so I won't show you the contents of each of those blocks. But basically, we need to perform the exact same function that's provided by some blocks that Snap's already given us. You'll see that Snap has a contains, it's defined. It has an index of block, it's defined. The purpose of this project is not to just drag their contains block into our custom contains block and call it good. You won't receive credit if you do that. Instead, what you need to do is you need to write your own contains block. And at this point, we've discussed some techniques for traversing a list, which is to say, visiting every item in a collection. And we've discussed two kinds of loops that we use. We have the for each loop that visits every item in order, starting with the first item and going to the last item. And then we have what we called an index loop, which takes a little bit more work, and you have to set up an index variable and repeat over the length of the list so that you have access to an index. And you can probably tell by looking at this that you will use both types of loops to solve these problems. You need at least one for each loop to solve these. You need at least one index loop to solve these. What's nice is I've built in this code that you see in front of you so that you can test to see if your block is working correctly. The solutions are that Fibonacci does contain a 5, cubic does not contain a 10, zoo does contain a rhino. Index of 8 in Fibonacci is 6. Index of negative 28 in cubic is negative 1 because it's not found. And the index of zebra in zoo is 1. The first word in zoo is elephant. The first word in WHS is none. Because one falcon, one family, while it is a true and wonderful motto, none of those words start with an E. And so we say it has no word. All right, that's the project. There is a PDF description of what you need to do. And the hint I will provide is that in order to figure out first word, you probably need to be using the letter 1 of word block. And that's also hinted here in the file that you've been given. If you have any questions about this lab, send me an email, get a hold of me in a class, and I can help you through it. It is a trickier one. Otherwise, thanks for watching.